Hello there, Mike. So in this video, we're going to explain about rotation. We're going to explore a little bit about rotation, as you've asked me on that YouTube video that you sent me. At first, when looking at the rotary cane, or I don't know, what is it called? Is it rotary cane or Rossetti cane? When at first I was looking at that logo, I was a little confused as to what actually are you asking, because obviously rotation is very simple, right? And I bet you already know this too. So whenever you have an object that is circular, or not actually circular, just any object actually, and you want to make it rotate, you can make it loop perfectly by using the 360-degree rotation. So for example, in this screen here, we have this circular graphic, and then you can make it fully rotate by giving it a 360-degree rotation. For example, let's keyframe this rotation property right here, and let's go toward frame, I don't know, 180, which means 3 seconds probably, and just plug in a value of 360, and whatever object that is, it will completely rotate seamlessly, right? Looping seamlessly. So for example, here we have the value of 360 in here, and let's make it loop and let's see the result. Look at that. It's perfectly looping, right? So yeah, that is the key to making any object loop. Whatever object that is, not even a circle. Even if it's a random object, a random shaped object, like for example, let's draw something like, I don't know, just something random. No. Something that is not symmetrical, something random, just like this probably. As you can see, there is no symmetrical shape in this object at all, right? From the left to right, up, down, nothing is symmetrical, nothing is similar. But we can make it rotate still. Go to the rotation property. The key to perfect and seamless rotation is, of course, giving it a full 360-degree rotation. So on the first keyframe, we set it 0. And then on the second keyframe, for example here, we set it to 360. Then obviously, it will make a perfect seamless loop, seamless rotation loop, as you can see there, right? So any object, really, not just circle, not just perfect circle, any object, even though it's random shape or asymmetrical shape, it can be made perfectly and seamlessly looping by giving it a full rotational value of 360. For example, here we start at 0 degree. What if we start at, let's say, 90 degree? So the first frame is 90 degree. So because we have to give it a full 360 rotation, then obviously on the second frame, we have to add 360 to the value of 90. So 90 plus 360 means 450. So on the second keyframe, we plug in the value of 450. So this is set to 0, and this is 450, which translates to 1 full rotation plus 90 degrees. So when we loop it, yep, it's perfectly and seamlessly looping. So that's it, Mike. Once again, when you want to make an object, whatever object, to rotate seamlessly, looping seamlessly, then you have to give it a full 360-degree rotation. Okay, so this is when the object is not symmetrical. There is no similarity on the shape at all. But what if the object is like this? Now there's a trick, of course. So let's delete this shape before. Now let's focus on this shape here. As you can see, the shape here has similarity on the shape, some recurring or repeating pattern, as you can see here, right? Now with such an object, we don't need to plug in a value of 360. We can cheat a little bit by giving it a value less than 360. Okay, for example, let's just delete all these keyframes. This is the first state, 0 degree rotation. And here we are going to make it loop by giving it a value less than 60. The key here is to make the second keyframe as similar, of course, similar to the first frame. So for example, here we have this recurring pattern. Let's keyframe the rotation property and go, I don't know, maybe 1 second, at 1 second, 60 frames. And then on the second keyframe, this is the key, what we need to find here is a recurring or similar imagery. So on the first frame, we have to take a snapshot. And then on the second frame, or the last frame, we have to make it rotate similar to the first frame, just the first principle of looping, right? So here we're going to make it rotate like that, so long as it's similar with the first frame. So let's see, the first frame is still there, more to the left, which means we have to rotate it more. Rotate it more. And a little bit more. There you go, that's perfect. So the first and last frames are already similar. See that? So there you go, Mike. We only have 30 degree rotation here. And yet, when we loop it, go back 1 frame, cut it over there. And when we loop it, there you go. It's already perfect circular motion looping, as if we plug in 360 degree there, even though it's actually just 30 degrees. There you go, Mike. So we can cheat a little bit there when we have a rather similar pattern or symmetrical shape on the object itself. So as you can see here, we have 30 degrees, right? 30 degrees instead of 360 degrees. And yet the loop is already perfect. So to sum it up, when you have irregular shape, you must make it 360. Okay, you must give it a rotation, a full rotation of 360 degree. But when it is a shape that has some similarity in on the pattern or some symmetrical shape in it, then you can cheat by giving it a rotational value less than 360. Now the key here is, of course, as the first principle of looping states, the first and last frames should have similar imagery between them. So as you can see here, this is the first, this is the last frame and this is the first frame. And they are similar, very similar. Just find it, that degree that shows such similarity, right? All right. Actually, this is very important when we talk more about how to loop multiple animated objects to loop at the same time. In the next video, we're going to explore about that. This cheating here is important when you want to have as little duration, little looping duration as possible. Because in the next video, when you have an animation that is looping for too long, for example, the looping duration is too long, then the entire video duration will be too big, which translates to bigger file size. So this cheating here, which means we are using a 30 degree and shorter duration of looping, it is very important for the next step. But do not confuse yourself with that next video yet, because obviously in this video we're just discussing about rotation, right? So yes, I think that's all about in this video. To sum it up, I think, yeah, it's already very clear, right? I'm sorry. It's 3 a.m. in here, so maybe I'm a little bit lightheaded. So yeah, I think that's all for this video. Thank you.